Hello, and welcome back to Fierce and Feminine, episode number 3. Today I have a topic for you guys. It is going to be the 5 biggest mistakes that I see people making when they start their fitness journey. So I have 5 that I'm going to go over today, and I really do see these ones the most, and I think it's going to be helpful for a lot of you ladies listening. So number 1, no clear goal. This one, I think, is the one that holds people back initially, because if you are thinking about starting a fitness journey, or maybe you're already in one, really ask yourself, right now while you're listening to this, like, what is my goal? Do I have a body composition goal? Do I want to lose fat and build muscle? Do I want to run a marathon? Do I want to, be a power athlete? Do I want to be strong? Do I want to be confident, right? Some of these goals do work together, but some of them do not, right? So for example, if you are trying to become the best runner you can be, that is probably not going to be a phase where you are going to be able to build a lot of muscle. Here's why. When we build muscle, okay, we need to be eating enough food. We need to be promoting muscle growth through rest, through training hard and heavy, and through letting the body recover, right? And when you're training for a marathon, okay, you should be on a pretty strict schedule of running consistently, 4 to 5 days a week. I don't really specialize in running, so the split could be different for like how much you're running, but basically like you work up, right? And you start to do longer runs, you have some shorter runs. But with all that being said, that is a lot of output that you have for your body, right? It's a lot of energy that you're using for all of that training. So let's say you add the gym on top of that and you're trying to lift really heavy, right? Well, where's the rest coming in? Where is that resting piece to promote muscle growth? It just doesn't exist. And so what my number 1 piece of advice is get clear on a goal. And the thing is if your number 1 goal is to build muscle, to be strong, right? You also want that body recomp, to lose fat, right? And this is different than just losing weight. Like if you're just concerned about the scale, but you also want to change your body composition, you're going to learn really quickly that is kind of a recipe for disaster, because those two things don't complement each other well. Because in order to change the way your body looks, you need more lean muscle mass. And to build muscle, we do have to be eating enough food. We need to be training hard. Now, that's not to say that we can't lose body fat during that time, right? But the scale usually is not going to go down in those periods of time when you are building muscle, okay? It's usually going to maintain, the scale will maintain, or it might even increase. But the outcome of that is going to be better, because when you do come into a period of time where you go back into a deficit, or you do a little cut, or even not, right? If you're really focusing on training well and building the lean muscle mass, your body is going to look significantly different, even if you weigh the same on the scale. So with that being said, the goal is important. If the primary goal is I want to improve my body composition, then you're probably not going to have the goal of running a marathon right now, okay? And I say that with love, and I say that because I believe that being clear and direct is being kind. And what we run into is, hearing, oh, you can do whatever you want. You can totally like do this and that at the same time. When in reality, you have to think about it. If you're doing everything at once, you're not really going to excel in anything. You're going to be mediocre at all the things that you do, right? So why not really focus on building muscle first if that's the primary goal? Once you get into a spot where you love your body composition, you love the muscle that you've built, then we can talk about, maybe getting into more running, focusing on races, things like that, okay? So that's the first mistake that I see. The second one, DIYing it, okay? I totally get it. There's so much information out there that you're kind of like, well, why do I need to hire someone to help me? Why do I need a mentor or a coach or like someone to guide me? There are so many programs out there, like $10, $20 programs, you know what I'm saying? But if you've purchased that before and you're listening to this and you still don't have the goal that you want, it's clear that you don't have the tools that you need to succeed. And again, I say that direct with love because like just be real with yourself. You know, like if you can get the result from this programs, which kudos to you if you can. I am not one of those people. I purchased so many programs, you know, from the time that I graduated college to when I hired my first coach. Like I purchased so many of those like plans, like 16-week, you know, get shredded or build those glutes. And like I just did not follow through on any of them. I had no direction or clue what I was doing. I didn't have any faith in it because there was no one like behind it being, you know, there for me every single week. And so like I get it if you've done that and maybe you're even trying that right now, but if it's not working, it's not working. And at some point, if the goal is important enough to you, you are going to take that leap of faith and you're going to invest in hiring someone to get you to where you want to be, right? I have so many clients that come to me as kind of like a last resort. You know, they've tried all the challenges, the programs. They've tried, you know, looking up the Instagram videos and writing it down. And I even have a note in my phone from when I was first starting, and it's like, glute day, upper body day, right? And I was like, oh, I totally got this. And like, I made zero progress. So I know this story like all too well. And I want to let you know you're not alone, but also this is your little nudge that if this really does mean something to you, hire a coach, just stop wasting your time. I promise you, when you look back in a year, 2 years, you're going to thank yourself. And this is going to be one of the most impactful things that you do in your life. I promise you. Okay. Health is probably one of the most important things, and I know I'm biased, but let's be real, right? Without health, you don't have a lot, right? If you're not feeling good, if your energy's low, if you don't feel strong enough to get through your day, then life is pretty hard to live and do all the other things that you love to do. So that's number 2. Number 3 is nutrition doesn't match the goal, okay? And this one is complex because everyone has different nutritional needs, but women don't realize how much they can eat. Okay, I'm just going to put that out there that 90% of women can eat so much more than they're eating, and they actually need to be eating more to see the changes that they want. I primarily work with women who want to lose body fat and to build lean muscle. Okay, and I even had a conversation with a client today. And, you know, she asked me, she was like, what do you see with women? Like, do you see that women like generally undereat, overeat? Like, are they at maintenance? And, you know, the honest truth is 90% of women undereat, and it's not your fault. I've been there too. I remember my first nutrition coach, she gave me my macros. We built up, and I was like, oh my gosh, like, are you sure I can eat this much? And at that point, you know, I had been from a background where I was always trying to eat as little as possible. So that was a big shift that I had to go through in order to accept that. But the thing is that our body needs food like cars need gas, or like electric cars need to be charged, right? Without that gas, without that charge, they are not going to run, and your body is no different. So I want you to think of it in terms of that, right? When you're wearing that badge of honor of like only eating 1,200 calories or going till noon without anything to eat but coffee, right? That is like, you would never do that with your car. You would never be like, oh, it's empty. Like, let me see if I can just like keep like pushing the gas pedal, even though like we're not going to move forward, right? Like that would destroy the car. Okay, think about your body like that. You're no different. We're no different. Our body is like this vessel, right? It is in some ways a machine. It needs fuel. And so if you are constantly restricting that fuel, we're messing a lot of things up actually, right? Metabolic rate slows down. And so it might not be a problem right now, but when you get a little bit older and naturally your metabolism is going to slow down anyways, if you've already been contributing to this process of slowing it down, then imagine just the compounding negative consequences that you are creating for yourself later in life. So why not figure out how to fuel your body correctly now so that when you're older, you think your younger self, right? And you're in a good spot. You can eat the foods that you want. You can enjoy time out with your family, because food is a part of, you know, maybe it's part of your culture. It's a part of your life. You love it. You enjoy it, right? Don't demonize food. Don't blame the food for what the food didn't do, because the food isn't making you fluffy, right? The food is not making it impossible for you to drop weight on the scale or to build muscle. The way that you're using food is, okay? So that is one concept that's really important to understand, and that a lot of women, don't quite have the education to piece that together, and that's okay, right? And that's why I'm coming out and speaking about this, because it's so important. Now, number 4, no structure. So if you want to start a fitness journey and you have a goal, I'm going to take it back to the fat loss and muscle building, right? You are going to need to follow a structured plan. Like, that is just how it goes. Every single action that we take has a certain outcome associated with it, right? So if you take the action of being super unstructured, you're randomly doing group fitness classes, maybe you go to the gym, but you don't do it consistently, what are your results going to look like? Your results are going to be inconsistent. They're not going to be what you hoped for, right? Other side of the coin, if you commit to showing up, if you get your workouts in, if you, plan your nutrition, right? If you have a plan and you're following it, you are going to see the results. And the beautiful thing about it is, physiologically, everyone is capable of making change. Okay, I don't care who you are. If you're listening to this and you're like, oh, like, I'm not capable of making change. I've tried it in the past. Like, it just doesn't work for me. Like, I hate to break it to you, but what you were doing was just like not correct, right? It wasn't working. And that's exactly where it ends, because if you start to do something that does work, if you follow a plan and you're consistent, you are going to see change, okay? The last thing I'm going to say about this is, you can have the best plan in the world, and if you are not consistent, you are not going to see changes. And that's the hard truth. And so that's why every single person, every single woman who comes into my program, every single person who comes into a fitness journey in general, right? You have to accept a certain level of personal responsibility that you're in charge of the results that follow, okay? And this is actually really beautiful because, it's beautiful because you really have the ability to make the journey what it is and to get the results that you want, right? You're totally in charge of that because it's how much you're willing to show up for yourself. Okay, last one, expectations. So if expectations are too high, then you are going to stop yourself before you even get started, right? Expectations need to be realistic. We can't Amazon a body. You're not going to get it overnight, and that is a hard pill to swallow. This starts from a very young age. My boyfriend's sister, who I'm very close with, she was lifting with me in the gym the other day, and she doesn't lift a lot, but she's getting into it. And she was like, she's like, my toxic trait is that, like, if you are coming into this with the expectation that this is going to happen overnight, you are going to find yourself very disappointed very quickly, and you are going to want to quit right away, right? So we need to keep the expectations realistic so that, we're still celebrating the wins, and you want to find the littlest things to celebrate, right? Because it's going to feel like in the beginning that you're not making a lot of progress, but then 1 month, 2 months, 3 months, 4 months, 5 months, year goes by, and suddenly you look in the mirror and you're like, holy crap, I look like a completely different person. And that's where the magic happens. And when you think about it, I mean, it's almost like a rite of passage, okay? Like, the reason not everyone's fit is because it takes hard work. Like, let's not sugarcoat that. I'm not trying to sugarcoat that, right? I am trying to, bring women into this space, show them how it can be done sustainably, right? Because it can be done where you don't have to give up your whole life, where you can still eat the foods that you love, where you enjoy exercising. It can still be done with like that love and that passion and that sustainability piece. But there are going to be parts of it that you don't love, right? There are going to be days when you don't want to work out. There are going to be certain movements that maybe aren't your favorite, right? But you're still going to do those. And that's actually where a lot of the joy and the self-improvement and growth comes from, right? Because it's overcoming those challenges. as people, we tend to just not like discomfort, right? And we live in a world where we don't have to really deal with that a lot. We have, Amazon, we have Instacart, right? We have Uber Eats and just all these like services that allow us to sit at home, order it, and let it come to us, right? And so we get to kind of just like hide away in this like state of just being super comfy all the time. So when you put yourself out of that comfort zone, right, and it doesn't feel very good in the beginning, but you keep showing up, you keep doing the things, you are resilient, you are, proving to yourself every single day that like you're capable of doing hard things. That's where the true magic happens, and that's actually where the reward comes from, right? This journey can be very spiritual, and most people who start it and are consistent with it and successful with it, they really start to realize that it's more than just getting in shape. It's actually like shaping the way that you show up as a person. It's shaping the way that you show up in different aspects of your life, and it's shaping how you feel about yourself, right? You feel strong, you feel confident, you feel feminine, you feel fierce, right? These are all the things that we want. We want to feel this way. I want you to feel this way, but it does come down to you, really, really wanting it, setting your expectations realistically, and showing up on the days even when, maybe the expectations have gotten a little out of hand and you think you should be further. So I hope this was helpful. Five reasons why, or 5 mistakes that a lot of people make on their fitness journey. I hope that you guys enjoyed this episode. I'm always trying to bring relevant content to you. If you found this helpful, please like and subscribe to this channel. Follow me on Instagram. My goal and my mission of Lexi Kiana Fitness is really to educate women, uplift them, and help you be the strongest and most confident version of you. I will see you guys next week. Have a good night.